Hello, curious minds. Health Patrol is back with Dr. Anita Chakravarti and Healthcare Foundation India. To remind you all, Health Patrol is a health myth busting platform. To connect with us, you can send us your queries on WhatsApp and on our website, healthpatrol.in. Today, we will be discussing about Zika virus. Before we start, let me give you a brief introduction of our guest, Dr. Anita. Welcome, ma'am. Dr. Anita is a professor head with Maulana Azad Medical College in microbiology with an experience of more than 40 years. To get started, Kerala reported recently two more cases of Zika virus and tally climbs to 38, report news channel. The virus, originally named Zik, was first discovered in Zika forest in Uganda. Ma'am, our first question to you is what is Zika virus and how does it spread?
Zika virus belongs to a group which is called as arbovirus. Arbovirus means they are through arthropods and insects. So it belongs to Flaviviridae group, the same group which can spread dengue as well as chikungunya and yellow fever. And Zika virus, as such, it is because of the bite of a mosquito, and that is the Aedes mosquito. There are two species, Aedes albopictus and Aedes aegypti mainly. So they are the ones which spread dengue. They are the ones which also spread the Zika virus. And it's an RNA virus. We categorize virus into DNA and RNA. So this is an RNA virus with a nice envelope coating on it, and this man gets, usually the infection is because of the bite of the mosquito.
Ma'am, you clearly mentioned that it is because of the bite of the mosquito, but can it also infect mice?
No, it doesn't infect mice.
Okay. This brings me to another question. India first reported four cases of Zika infection in 2017. Three were in Gujarat state and one in Tamil Nadu. As of December 2018, the Indian National Center for Disease Control, Ministry of Health and Family Welfare reported 159 confirmed cases of this virus from Rajasthan state, 130 cases from Madhya Pradesh, and one case from Gujarat state. Can the virus, which has currently been reported in South, spread to North India again? What is the likelihood of local virus transmission?
As the vectors are there. Vector means mosquito is very much there in almost all over India, and of course in the north we have the same species, the Aedes species. So there are chances that if the infection is brought here, then it can be transmitted through the mosquito. And therefore there has to be a surveillance. Anytime there are febrile cases, usually surveillance is done as to what the particular virus would be, which can cause this febrile episodes with a typical manifestation. So there are chances of the virus spreading also. It's not localized.
You just mentioned if the virus is brought here. Can we assume that the virus can be brought here by travelers, or are there any other means as well?
Yes, actually, infected person, most of the time they're asymptomatic. So it's been seen that 80% don't manifest disease. So they could get the infection. Even those who have infection may show some mild manifestation. The person can travel. The vector is already there, present in most of the places in India. And if the vector bites, then it can have that particular, it can take up that particular virus, and that virus will then develop in the gut of the certain mosquitoes. So that's how it goes. But then you also have transmission through other routes, and it could be even through, the sexual route. The transmission could occur. It could be through utero. So if a pregnant lady is there, if she contracts the infection, then she may transmit it to the child, and then it becomes a little hazardous because it could lead to congenital deformities. And of course, it could also be through the lab. Some infection could occur unless a person is, if it turns out to be a little careless, then lab infection could occur. It can also be through blood, but these are rarer modes of transfer. The most common is through the mosquito bite.
So Zika virus mainly spread through mosquito bite. It can also spread through sexual transmission and can be transmitted to pregnant women, as mentioned by our guest. Ma'am, my third question to you is, as of July 2019, a total of 87 countries and territories have had evidence of mosquito-borne transmission of Zika virus, distributed across four of the six WHO regions: African region, region of America, Southeast Asia region, and Western Pacific region. Why is Zika virus prevalent in a few regions while it is completely absent in some regions like Canada?
See, for the virus to be present, the infection has to come into that particular place. So there has to be an infected individual. Number two, there has to be the vector also. So if the infected individual is there and the individual has to be there during the phase of viremia. Viremia means the virus is in the blood, and this is for a very short period. And usually it's seen in Zika infection that the viral load generally is not very high. So if he's viremic, comes to a certain place where there is a vector, then there are all, it can always lead to an infection in that region also. So in all probabilities, these regions may not be having that particular species of Aedes, because you need that species of Aedes also. There are 3 or 4 species in India. Major ones, of course, are the Aegypti and the Albopicticus. So you need the species also to transmit, because they need those cells, the receptors on the gut cells, where the virus can attach and then it can invade and where it can multiply. So first you need the virus, second you need the vector, and maybe they are more stringent in how they allow people to come into their countries. So that's another mode.
Our doubt is well cleared, ma'am. Thank you. This brings to our next question. As you mentioned, apparently there are different strains of Zika virus, like American and African strain. Could you please help our audience understand the differences between these strains?
See, there are we call it as lineages. So what they do normally to know about the strain is that they take out the genome and they sequence the genome, and then they analyze the particular genetic sequence which they see, and if they match with the particular type present in the region. So you have an African, you have an Asian, you have an American, because if you remember, there was a big outbreak in Brazil. I think it was in 2015, where a lot of cases of microcephaly occurred in late children, women who gave birth to children. So what in India we have is the Asian lineage, and we don't have the African or the American. And it has also been seen that the African and American are more virulent, so they could cause more infectious disease. In the case of the Asian strain, the one in India, it's been seen that most probably up till now it isn't that virulent. So this is what has been seen. And then of course, after you get these type of viruses in lineages, then you also have sublineages or clades, minor variation. So you can know that our virus is linked to which geographical area. So if it's Asian, that means we have countries near us, Bangladesh, you have Malaysia, you have Indonesia, you have Vietnam, where you have this Zika virus. So our clade matches a little bit more with Malaysia, less with Vietnam or Thailand. But these are the subgenomic classifications.
Thank you for telling us, ma'am, that it is less virulent in India. That is a bit optimistic news for us. This brings to our next question. Will a woman Pregnant women infected with Zika virus always deliver a baby with a birth defect.
No, no, they won't. What has been seen is usually around 5%. Some some reports are there very high, also of 13% of the pregnant ladies may deliver children with defects. And in India itself, there's a recent report. I think the report came somewhere in December 20 in some public health journal, a good journal, and it was seen in Rajasthan that out of 25 ladies who delivered, the infection and the congenital malformation was seen only in 2 cases, and then there were stillbirths in 3 cases, there were abortions in 2 to 3 cases, and there was colonic intestinal malformation in a case, single case. So not all cases will lead to congenital deformity. And one must know another thing, that this is not the only virus which causes congenital infection. There's another virus, others are there, like rubella, cytomegalo, herpes. These are other viruses cause. And I think in this platform, I would like to say that against rubella, there is an excellent vaccine. And all ladies of reproductive age group, they must take it. It's in the it's, you can even give to children when they are small at a certain age. It's called as the rubella, or it's given as the mumps, measles, rubella vaccine. So this is easily available. It's available in India, and it's good to give it, at least to take care of one of the viral diseases.
This is not the only virus that causes deformity, but other infections have vaccines available, so there is no point to worry. As mentioned by ma'am, very few cases in pregnant women develops deformity in the baby. This takes us to our another question. Cases of Zika associated congenital malformations, microcephaly, and abnormally small head and brain size, and fetal death have been identified in the past. Can this virus also lead to death of the baby and the person infected?
See, it leads to death of the baby because it all depends on which stage the lady is getting infection, whether it's during the first trimester, second trimester, or the third trimester. And stillbirths do occur, abortions occur, stillbirths occur. Even stillbirth means, not a living child, so it does occur. So it causes more severe infection in the child because it is transmitted through the placenta. So the child gets the infection, especially when the organs are being developed in the early stages of pregnancy, and it
So
causes neurological diseases.
what are the precautions a pregnant women can take to prevent this virus?
See, the person should not visit an area where there is an outbreak. If they're planning a trip or tour, they should not visit that area. That is the best. If that's not possible, then try to use mosquito nets or mosquito repellents so that you don't get the bite of the mosquito, because that's the agent which is going to transmit. That's the main agent which is going to transmit. So these are the two precautions. The best is don't visit that area. That's being careful.
So now clearly mentioned that don't visit the area which has been infected with the Zika virus. And second, try using mosquito repellents if you know it is quite prevalent in your place. Ma'am, next question to you. Some countries with the highest number of cases and incidents in 2018 include Panama with 2,752 suspected cases and Bolivia, which includes 1,736 suspected cases. How fatal can be the virus for India?
How? What's the
How
question?
fatal can be the virus for India?
India, as per the situation now, no fatality has been seen in Kerala. The first person to get infected was a pregnant lady, and the others who have got infected, till now the fatality has not been reported. So I think till now the fatality is not very high. And as I had suggested and told, Ki, there are suggestions that the strain which we have are less virulent than the ones which are there in Africa and other countries.
Ma'am, we have talked about the fatality, but and you also mentioned that normally the patients are asymptomatic. But what are the real symptoms or few symptoms that we see with people who are infected with this virus?
See, it doesn't have very specific symptoms. So that's the problem with this virus. It has more symptoms like the dengue virus and sometimes like the flu also. So it can have, muscle pain, myalgias, and joint pains we call as arthralgias. There could be fever. There could be sort of loss of appetite, and the fever usually lasts for a short time. The person could have rashes also. So this type of presentation is there. So it's not a very specific presentation. That person may not have respiratory symptoms. So it's more towards symptoms like dengue, and it does get confused with dengue. So one has to be quite aware about this disease during the dengue season, because it's the same vector and almost the presentation is same, but dengue turns out to be more dangerous. That's the thing.
Ma'am, you just mentioned it is the same vector, similar presentation, and same kind of symptoms. But then, how can we actually distinguish between the two?
There is no typical distinguishing clinical feature. There is no typical feature. What happens is, normally when febrile cases come, these febrile cases, you do some surveillance. This is done by the government, the health departments, and the national communicable disease centers. They do their surveillances. So they pick up febrile samples, and then they do the checking to just see whether there is some infection with Zika or not. Especially now that we see that there's an outbreak, what is happening is an outbreak in Kerala. So a team has gone to see exactly what is happening. So they'll just pick up the samples, and then they'll test the samples, and they'll do specific tests to find out whether it's Zika or not. Because what happens, the antibodies of dengue and the antibodies of Zika, they cross react. So ELISA is a good test to do, but many times there would be cross reactivity, so that leads to false positivity. So one needs better tests like RT-PCR. They are more specific.
Thank you, ma'am. You already answered the next question that I was about to ask. Like, how can the cases be detected? Now, my next question is, are people who have been infected from Zika virus likely to be protected for the future infections?
Yeah, that's what they say. They say that it's almost a lifelong protection. So once one is infected, you need not worry about another infection, like COVID.
And is this virus communicable?
Uh, See, it has to go. Normally, it is through the vector, and I told you the other routes also. So it's not, in that sense, highly infectious. It's not a droplet infection type of disease. So it is communicable through a vector.
Okay. Ma'am, we know the vaccine for Zika virus still doesn't exist, but we know few treatment involved, like you mentioned, mosquito repellent containing picaridin or oil of lemon eucalyptus. But what are the other treatment of the virus according to you?
See, vaccines are in the process of development. So they're trying to come out with vaccines. And now that there are such nice, good platforms, they would be trying mRNA vaccines and, other peptide vaccines, or inactivated or live attenuated. These are the usual formats of vaccines. So they are on it. And treatment, there is no specific antiviral. That's the problem with most of the viruses. So because there is no specific treatment, So they do give symptomatic treatments. So for fever, you give maybe Calpol or Crocin, paracetamols. That is what is preferred. So depending on what the patient is presenting with. And best part is that if you can prevent the infection, if a person has the infection in the house, then one should see to it that the mosquitoes don't bite another person, because again the other persons residing will get the infection. So use mosquito repellents, use mosquito nets, because now no one wants to use a mosquito net, but then you don't face the chemicals if you are using a mosquito net. And then you can also use, there is see to it that you don't have stagnant water, because see what happens is Edis larva, they grow very fast. Within, I think, 3 to 5 days they grow. So they love to stay in the stagnant water, and we have a lot of it because we have flower pots and we have tire tubes, and there is eternal construction going on, so there is always waterlogging, and these mosquitoes happily breed there. So if that is there, then you will have Edis, and the different types of diseases will spread. So it's important that this is not there, and it's not only the work of the government. I think even the community has to be aware. There are many of the diseases, I think community has to take participate. So the knowledge, and I'm happy to be in this platform, because I always feel some transmission of knowledge, and the responsibility of the community has to be there in healthcare. It can't be only the hospitals and the doctors and the governments. Every individual has to take responsibility. So if one can prevent Edis multiplying, you prevent not only Zika, you prevent all these are the viruses which can be used. There are certain fishes also, Gambusia fish. So this is a type of fish which eats the larva.
So as ma'am mentioned clearly, it is the duty of the community and the government, not just the doctors. Ma'am, you also
I think
mentioned
you're
that
on
it is
hold.
is it? Maybe it's just some problem with the internet, I guess. Am I audible? Hello?
Now it's better.
Are
I can
we,
see you.
now it's better? Okay.
Yeah.
Ma'am, you also mentioned that Zika virus can transfer through sexual transmission. Though we know there is no vaccine, little treatment, but what are the precautions one can take to prevent it?
See, if a person has been infected, so one recommends that the person has safe sex and uses condom, so that the transmission isn't there. Usually, it's seen that the virus stays uh, for about, I think, 3 months, in the testes. And in the woman, it stays for 2 months in the females, but in the males, it stays for 3 months. So that precaution has to be taken so that there is no sexual transmission. That's important.
Ma'am, this brings me to our last question. We know that monsoon is quite prevalent and it brings with it other viruses like you mentioned in the show earlier, malaria, dengue. So what are the kind of precautions or what advice do you have for our audience?
Okay, I just told about not having stagnant water around. That's important. The other, and like we want to have, because of health, because of the weather and conditions and climatic changes, we would like to have a lot of greens. But in tropical countries, because of humidity, you are going to have mosquitoes. It's very difficult to stop them breeding. So one wears covered clothes during this time so that the bite doesn't come. They have lesser surface to bite. Then one uses the various creams which have the mosquito repellents, or you can use uh, the various you know they have good night and all that, so that the chemicals they have, so these are the ones which sees to it that the mosquito doesn't come. And the important thing is that most important thing is that see to it the breeding doesn't occur. If the breeding doesn't occur, you have lesser mosquitoes. So that's the thing. But we cannot have a mosquito-free environment. So one has to live with them, but one has to live with them thinking of our safety, because newer viruses are coming, and we are having more outbreaks. That's the problem.
Ma'am, if you permit, I would like to take some questions from the audience. Ma'am, people are giving you a lot of regards. They are thanking you for conducting a talk. And we have a question. Day 10 हुआ है COVID को, COVID positive अभी भी है. What can I do? Which is a bit vague question, but yes. So
See,
let's
the
see. We have.
virus, COVID virus is usually there till the 9th day. Okay. And afterwards, the remnants जो होगा, that can be PCR positive. So if a person has COVID, he has to be quarantined for a specific period, 14 days or whatever the norms, government rules say, 14 or 17 days quarantine. But then the positivity and the viremia in COVID, it becomes less. It is not there after 9th day in most of the cases. So one should not be that worried. And of course, recovery takes time. So one has to take a precaution. And you are given that extra period to be in quarantine so that the spread of the disease does not occur. Therefore, you are given some extra time for the quarantine.
Now we have some other question. Can a pregnant woman take the vaccine?
Which vaccine?
Any vaccine, because it's not mentioned, so I'm assuming like maybe the vaccines that are available in India.
See, abroad, they are giving the vaccines. They say it's safe, and they are taking vaccines, the COVID vaccines.
Other question says, should children go to school if it reopens?
Everyone wants to know about COVID. Now, yes, if it reopens, if the precautions are taken, and if the children can go if it is open in a staggered way. So, like lots batches of children go first, the younger ones go, and the teachers have to be vaccinated. Whoever is around, teachers or the drivers or the attendants, all of them have to be vaccinated, and one has to take COVID appropriate behavior. Mask has to be put, distancing has to be done, washing of hands. The children can go, and best is if they can go in a staggered way. So few children going a few days, then the other children going, that would be good. They might be starting the school soon.
Ma'am, another question is saying that Australia has nearly put a lockdown. What message does it hold for India?
Every country has its own way of dealing with the virus, and the waves of virus in different countries come at different intervals. So each country has its norms. So we had our norms, and now the wave is much lesser. So if people behave properly and they are responsible, then of course we have opened up, almost opened up to most of the things. But people have to be careful. You all have to be very careful in your behavior. Not that you flock together, go to malls, have parties, no masks, then there's problem. Because we are not fully vaccinated. The percentage of people vaccinated is not that high.
केदार जी is asking हमारे देश में जीका वायरस के कितने केस मिले हैं?
37 cases, Kerala 2021 जुलाई में ही मिले हैं. And as अंशिता ने कहा था कि 2018 में बहुत सारे केसेस हुए थे. 159 you said in Rajasthan, almost 159 in Rajasthan,
and 113 Madhya Pradesh.
Yeah, 113 Madhya Pradesh. तो काफी केसेस हुए थे. at that time, and congenital effects also were there.
We have a very funny question, not so funny, that why is media talking about Zika virus now?
Yes, even I want to know why is media talking about Zika virus. Actually, uh, because there's an outbreak, and Kerala में Zika virus का outbreak हुआ था. So that's why they want, probably they want people to be aware that this outbreak has occurred. But Zika virus has been there. It's हमारे इंडिया में it's an endogenous virus. मतलब it's not necessary कि travelers से ही आए. इंडिया में रहा है ये वायरस. कुछ स्टडीज किया हुआ है एंटीबॉडीज का, 1950s के एंटीबॉडीज का, उसमें जिका वायरस एंटीबॉडी था. सो दिस इज देयर. सो कुछ भी नया वायरस, शायद अभी यू विल बी हियरिंग अबाउट एवियन इन्फ्लुएंजा आल्सो.
Ma'am, is there a connection between Zika virus and COVID?
No, there is no connection. One is arthropods, one is respiratory route. I mean, the whole pathogenesis is different, excepting both are RNA viruses.
Ma'am, any final message that you have for our audience?
Actually, आजकल diagnostic techniques improve हो गए हैं काफी. So new viruses are being detected. These are actually there, but they are being detected, especially the ones which are pathogenic to humans. So what we are seeing is that we have to take precaution from our side too. So as I had told you that precautions in the sense of seeing ki there is no stagnant water, things are not dirty around, and the COVID precautions also. So the community has to be participating in it. Just number इतने हो रहे हैं, ये स्टेट में हो रहा है, गवर्नमेंट के इंडिविजुअल्स जा रहे हैं देखने के लिए. So one has to know what one can do from their end to prevent the transmission. That's what I would think. That's important. And
Thank
hope
you so
Zika
much,
does
ma'am,
not go
for
to other
always
states.
being so optimistic about your point of view. I'm
Yeah.
sure my audience would be less scared right now. And so this brings to our end of the show. Thank you for the audience for taking out time. And I would like to remind you again, you can connect with Health Patrol to check veracity of any news, any information. Our website is healthpatrol.in. Our Instagram channel is healthpatrol_in. And you can send us your queries even on our WhatsApp number, which is mentioned in our website and Instagram. Lovely to chat with you, ma'am, and the audience. Thank you so much for being on the show.